Alright, hello guys. There is something I've been wanting to talk about, and I've been trying to talk about forever, but I would always try to talk about it while I was at work and driving around and distracted, and it was bad. I just lots of background noise, and there's still gonna be background noise here because I'm gonna be cleaning my mess of a fucking room. I bought all of these little 12-quart boxes to just, no, 6-quart boxes just to organize my room, but anyways, I've been wanting to talk about music and how I function as a music fan. And one of the big, I guess, arbiters of that would be Hail the Sun, at least most recently, most obviously. But I'm pretty 90% of my energy as a fan for Hail the Sun has to do with the number 12 Looks Like You. I've been listening to the number 12 Looks Like You so intently. Like, all of my energy would go into loving this band that when I was listening to them, they were in the grave. They were dead. They weren't doing anything. Like, I didn't know that when I went to Warped Tour to see Hail the Sun because I had gotten a surprise ticket to Vans, that's when I found out that the number 12 Looks Like You had recoagulated. I looked on Instagram and they had made themselves an Instagram, and I knew that a year before they didn't have an Instagram, at least not an official active one, and now they did, so that was awesome already, right? And I had just met this girl named Natalie, and she was cool, and she was also into the band that I went to see, Hail the Sun. And Hail the Sun, when I listen to a band, I know immediately how much I'm gonna like them. And Hail the Sun, within the first couple songs, I know just exactly where my level of love for this band will be. And Hail the Sun was up there. It's just at the time I didn't really get into bands. I love the music, but I would never get involved with the people behind the instruments. That was all about to change on this one fateful day where it was fucking hot and I was wearing my black number 12 Looks Like You t-shirt because I didn't have any Hail the Sun merch, so I wore my number 12 shirt. I didn't have any Awasana merch when I went to their concert, so I wore my number 12 shirt. That was my thing. If I didn't have merch for this particular band, I would wear my number 12 t-shirt. So I'm wearing my number 12 Looks Like You t-shirt, and no one recognized it except for this one guy who had long blonde hair. Was awesome, and I didn't get his Instagram. I should have gotten some sort of contact information, but it kind of worked out in the end because now there's people in this Facebook group I'm in who listen to number 12. And then the other person who recognized the shirt at Warped Tour was fucking Donovan Malero of Hail the Sun, and it was perfect. It was the perfect moment. And now the thing with me and the number 12 Looks Like You is that I got into them really early. I was 11 when I first got into them. My friend Cassidy, she gave me My Chemical Romance's first album on CD, and they had a bonus CD. Because at the time, My Chem, for their first album, was signed to... I gotta fucking breathe. They were signed to Eyeball Records, and so was the number 12, at least at the time. So they had 2 songs. I remember Sleeping with the Fishy Sea was on there, and I believe El Piñata de la Muerte, but I'm not entirely sure. But those 2 songs, along with the Devil Sticks Disaster and Texas Dolly, were the songs I listened to first. And they were amazing. I've never heard anything like the number 12 Looks Like You before when I was 11. And I was never really into music. All the other bands I knew were basically My Chemical Romance, My Self-Indulgence, and then even before that, because I was so young, it was the Jonas Brothers and Hannah Montana. And I didn't really get into any of that. People oh, they knew all the Jonas Brothers members, they knew everything about the people in that music, and I didn't care. I can't care about something that I don't care about. So if I didn't care about the number 12 Looks Like You, if that was not in the cards for me, I could not fake it. Even with Dance Gavin Dance, I have terrible lung capacity. Talking just takes out so much out of me. But even with Dance Gavin Dance, I've been into Dance Gavin Dance. I've been into them. I knew they existed, but they really only serve as a point of reference for me. They're the most popular band out of the bands I listen to that I can use as a parameter for people I've just met. If I ask them if they know what Dance Gavin Dance is, it kind of gives me an idea of what any musical conversation between us would be like. So if they know Dance Gavin Dance, great. If they don't know, I'm at a loss. But so back to being a music fan and the number 12 Looks Like You and Hail the Sun. The thing with Hail the Sun, that was the first time I've ever seen a band live that I actually liked. Like, I've seen Fall Out Boy and Alessandro and the Fall of Troy, and those were all good and dandy. But the lyrics, really oddly enough, I ignore lyrics in songs, except for Mist Injections. That was cool, and 8 Balls. I started going back through all the music I listened to and listening to the entire song. Like, I pay more attention to the drumming now, whereas I used to only pay attention to the drumming in the Number 12 Looks Like You, because I felt like that was the only band that had any drummer worth their salt. But then Hail the Sun came around, and their drummer all of his parts are very involved. It's not overpowering, it's not bare bones, they're involved, they're complex, they fit every moment. Even when it's like a breakdown, it's not like the drums just disappear so the song can get quiet. He can play through quiet parts of the song. And the song Category by the Number 12, that kind of defined what I like about any drummer that I like, is that if in a quiet, like a soft, quiet, or like broken down part of the song, the drummer can still be a part of that and be a major part of that song, then I love them. That's great. And especially with cymbals, if they can incorporate cymbals in soft parts of the song and do it well, where it doesn't feel like it's underplayed or if it's sticking out and it's just balanced in, and it's amazing. And that's where I want to get as a drummer. Like, I've always been interested in kind of the bass section of music, and for some reason I was playing violin and that never really stuck with me. Although I kind of want to get back to it now. Although violin is the only string instrument aside from cello that I really care about. Like, guitars and bass, I don't really know anything about. Like, I've been in music theory classes, and I've played piano and violin for a while, so I know a good melody line when I hear one, and like harmony and stuff like that. But like, in terms of what it takes to be a guitar player, it's whatever. I'm not really interested in that. What is this? Those are like coins. I'm just running around my room trying to organize my fucking pens. I have too much stuff. It's such a first world problem having too much shit, but here I am, just going through my art supplies while I talk about music. Because the thing is, I've been working on the speed paints. These 3 speed paints, but I have like 4 projects, 2 of which have deadlines. Like, Hail the Sun has their merch thing, and I need to be done with 2 designs that I really want to get done. I really want to submit to them by January 31st. Now, if I don't get those done, and I haven't even started on one of them, like in terms of actually doing it on the computer, since it has to be a high resolution file, and I don't know, just if I can't procrastinate on this, I can't sleep on it. But here I am, just not doing it because I need to clean my room, and it's really bugging me. This is such a bad attribute I got from my mom, but at the same time a good one. I procrastinate by cleaning my room, so whenever my friends hear that I'm cleaning my room, it's because I'm putting off something else. But in the meantime, what was I talking about? Like, my favorite drummers, John Carroll, and now Michael Cadner, I guess by extension. Although, I'm kind of hesitant to say him because I want to hear how he writes his parts on the new Number 12 album that they're working on. But we're not really going to get a new Number 12 album for a while. I'm just happy that they're existing again. And they're touring. When I see that they're touring, it means the band is still alive, and there's a strong fan base for the Number 12 Looks Like You that I've never seen before. Like, the first 2 people that I saw who recognized the Number 12 Looks Like You was random guy from Vans, and then Donovan Valero, and then now I'm on this Facebook group, and they're like, one of the admins there, he's into Number 12, and there's just like, it's just so weird. I can say something Number 12 related, and people will respond. And I got to see them live, and everything's just happening, and it's great. It's fantastic. I love it. My life has been great in that regard. Some other stuff has not been so great. And if it were not for, my keychain. Well, it's the keychain my mom originally had, but I didn't know where it went, and now I have it, so that's good. I'm gonna put it on my car keys. But in the meantime, I was isolated because I'm not really good at talking to people, and I didn't really care a lot about what other people cared about. I mean, I made friends with some people through art, and then through just having more musical knowledge than the average person, I made friends with some people that way, because I was in marching band, and I made friends with people in choir, because it's still music, even if they call their notes some really weird things. and I'm not into musical theater, but still. So but like all of those things kind of center around the number 12 looks like you, this band. Like even their aesthetic, I really like that aesthetic, and I try to copy it, and anything that resembles that aesthetic is like the best thing ever, and I love it. And I'm gonna put this banana and this, I'm gonna put these things on my keychains. Yeah, I have a cool car. I got a new car. I can put these on my car. Okay. Back on subject though. It's just, this band has carried me through my life. Boy, I just saw my rabbit try to face hump my other rabbit, and the other rabbit did not approve. One day he's gonna get himself bit because he's being a little bully towards Cappuccino. But now he's cleaning your ears as a apology. But how long has this been going on? So 11 minutes. I guess that's a good length of me losing my train of thought because my rabbits are now. I mean, today's kind of been a lazy day. Like, we've all felt it. They've been sitting around doing nothing, and I've been trying to clean my room. So there's that. Whenever I try to mess with their space, and they just disagree. But there's a lot more I want to talk about with this music. I want to talk about my music taste forever and ever because I don't know. Because I want to. Because that's like the thing I've been interested in is the number 12 looks like you, and then by extension, Hail the Sun and Var, and then even a lot like birds. Like how I got into the realm of the swancore sphere, as I like to call it, is that my other friend Tony, she called me up one day and she's like, hey, you should check out this band called A Lot Like Birds because it's like Dance Gavin Dance and the number 12 looks like you put together. And for the most part, I agree, especially in terms of it's the number 12 aesthetic with like Dance Gavin Dance guitar style playing. And also another one of my favorite drummers, Joseph Arrington, he's in the A Lot Like Birds. And then that's how I started my record collection. The first record I ever bought was Conversation Piece. No, it was No Place by A Lot Like Birds that I got from this Hot Topic in College Station. And just holding it, I was with my dad, I was checking out the college in College Station. But so that's how I started out my record player. My record collection was with A Lot Like Birds. And now, here's the thing. I don't remember exactly when Hail the Sun I don't remember the first time I like heard of Hail the Sun or saw the words Hail the Sun on my phone. I don't remember. What I do remember though is I was reading the description for Var on Bandcamp because I was just poking around there, and the description it had like because Var is a super group. So it had the description of like, hey, Var is a combination of A Lot Like Birds, Dance Gavin Dance, and Hail the Sun. And I was excited for the Hail the Sun part of it, but I should have been more excited for A Lot Like Birds because that at that time, thinking about just logically, that would have been the band I was most familiar with. So I don't know where I found Hail the Sun. I don't remember. I remember that I think my first song I heard from them was Missed Injections, but I don't know where. I don't know where they just popped up out of nowhere, but I'm glad because I don't know how else I would have found them because I'm really against checking out new bands. Like that's so hard for me to do unless I'm at a concert and they're playing and I might as well listen. But even then, live performances don't always match up with like studio recordings. Because sometimes the live version sucks, but the CD's great. Or sometimes the live version has this energy that doesn't translate into the studio recording, and then that's a whole nother topic for another time that I don't really like talking about because the thing with live performances, especially for bands, since there's a lot of electronic components and mastering and sound engineering that I have no idea about, so suffocating trying to talk out loud. That's why I hate talking. Like I love texting. I hate phone calls though because they take my life away. I'm throwing away this pen. This pen, I never use this pen. It's in the trash now. But I forgot. But I was like, I got into A Lot Like Birds, and then that's how I got into Var and Hail the Sun. And then I met Natalie, who's also in a Dance Gavin Dance, and I was because of the drumming in Hail the Sun and Like Birds to Extent, I was going back to music that I had known of and liked to reassess now that I was paying more attention. Like, I used to only listen to guitar because I don't like vocals generally, and I just kind of like passively listened. I didn't like listen and try to see what parts of a song I liked, what I didn't like, because I kind of did that to an extent. Like with my favorite song in Alisana, Alchemy sounded good at a time. There's one part that's like part of the chorus where the guitar just makes the ugliest noise ever, and it bugs me so much. But then I didn't like do it actively, like that just stuck out to me. But now I was going through my music, like The Fall of Troy, The Mars Volta, although I've been listening to them since I was 11 too. But I'm an idiot and only thought Bedlam of Goliath existed. I didn't know there was any other Mars Volta album for the longest time. But I was going back through my music and listening to it like I would listen to Hail the Sun. Like, I was listening for the drums and seeing all these different drumming styles and paying more attention to the guitar versus the bass and how vocalists tied into the whole image of the band. That's the only way I can, like, that's the only way. I think of vocalists as tools, basically. Like, you gotta shift them around through all these different bands and find what they fit. I don't follow vocalists, really. And if I do follow someone who is a vocalist, it's not really because they're a vocalist. Or at least clean vocalists. I love unclean vocalists, as they say. Like, anything like John Massey's pretty good. And then I gotta find some other names. I'm bad with names. So, and faces. That's another reason why I didn't get into, like, the people behind the bands for the longest time, is just because I'm just bad with people in general. Like, the only band I could really remember the people of was the people in Mindless Self-Indulgence. At least, like, Jimmy Ure and Steve Vai, Kitty Lindsay, and then the drummer that I don't remember her name. And the people in My Chemical Romance. And, but, like, that was it. I didn't try, that's the thing. Now I'm trying. Like, I'm looking into these bands. I'm following their tours. I'm looking them up on social media and Snapchat, and it's so weird, especially with Snapchat. I'm kind of glad that Snapchat isn't really a place for time-pertinent information, because I always forget to check it. Like, there's so many people on my Snapchat now, and so many people that I don't really care about in terms of their day-to-day things that they would put on their story. And, like, I have a list of people I look out to check, like Natalie, Donovan, and Eric. And two of those people are in Hail the Sun. But even then, even though I'm really interested in, like, these three people's days, I still forget to check my Snapchat. So there are days where I have no idea if they posted anything or not, and I don't really care. So there's that. And I'm dying, and I gotta fill up the bunny's water bowl, so I'm gonna end this now.